all my bitches drive Range Rovers.
Mhm. There are so many layers to it, when you talk about
So many layers or so many women.
Yeah.
Where's her mother? Like, first of all, let me just stop that sentence. All the money in the world ain't gonna cure
No,
your health.
that's it. Maybe that's it for her. That's her bar.
What the fuck you marry him for? So we're talking about Anthony Edwards because it seems to be a really hot topic, and it seems to have resulted in a lot of single parenting.
Yeah.
I guess he felt like he was going to make one woman legit and the other woman not legit. And I think that I'm kind of curious as to why she decided to marry him, especially when he was trying to escape child support by so many women. And if you look at the text messages, it's just the way he spoke to the other women. It's just the way he handled the other women.
It's crazy that the fact that those text messages are even out there. Like, that part was just baffling to me. I was like, how are these text messages out there?
Because he wrote it.
And the way that he would speak to them, like, that speaks volumes of what
That's
he
like,
thinks about them.
like, how we're sitting here and we have a platform, and our platform reaches so many people. And can you just imagine if we're sitting here doing this show and it's like, look what he texted me, and then it's up here, like, it's like, what? Here, he actually put this in writing.
Yeah.
It's like, you actually, were you smoking? Were you drinking? What made you put that in writing?
I think an athlete who gets drafted at 18 years old and is like slated to be the next face of the franchise, like, I
But
think
should he be the face of the franchise?
I can't say that he should, but I think that whoever's around him, like his management team or whomever is responsible for him being as young as he is with all that money and all that access.
I am an Anthony Edwards athletic fan.
Oh yeah,
I think
me
his
too.
athletic ability is
Yep.
great. I think that on the court, I watched Starting Five. I think on the court, he's amazing. He's young. He's vibrant. He's a beast. Like when it comes to his athletic talent, we can't take nothing away from him. He is a beast. But when it comes to his decision making and his manhood and his integrity and character, I think we're lacking a little bit for that to be the face of the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, who's around, but I'm just like, who's around him helping him? Like, so first off, when I watched Starting Five, whenever that was, however many years ago that was, I had no idea, like, based on what they were showing in that show, like, didn't think at all there was like another or 3 or 4 or 7 or however many other women in the background, just because it seemed like he and Shannon were so like tight. Like, that was his.
But I think
his
one
ace.
thing that you note, and we saw this when the girl was like giving her little sister tips on how to get an athlete. One thing that you note is that's different from my day and today. They don't care if you have other women.
Mm-mm.
Like, I damn sure care. Like, I cared.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, you're not coming up in here rolling up with like a family of 4, and I'm gonna be like, oh shit, it's okay. Let me make them a plate. That shit ain't about to happen. Mm-hmm. I feel like she's like, I've been here. Where's her mother? Like, first of all, let me just stop that sentence and say, where's her mom? Not that her mom can do anything, not that her mom can make the decision for her, but where's your mom? Because if he cheated on you, then he's not gonna stop.
Well, I think she knows that. I think she's accepted that. I think she's accepted, like, this is her life. And the fact that he is kind of like, maybe like, this is how it is if you have multiple wives, and you have maybe the one who's like the first one, and she's like the one that gets all the attention. And it seems like she knows that.
Well, hell, they all got attention. They all on social media.
Yeah, but she gets his attention. He's the one he left the game early because she was in labor. He went to be by her side when she had the baby. The other women, he's not doing that. And so in her mind, she might be thinking, well, he's going to do what he's going to do, but I'm the queen bee. And by no means do I think she should settle for that, but maybe that's what she thinks. That's it. Maybe that's it for her. That's her bar.
You notice I still ain't said nothing, right?
I mean,
because that's a pretty sad bar. Because what I think that, from my experience in all this, what I think that nobody's taking into accountability is the children.
Right.
And when children are little, they grow up to be adults. and when adult children can make the choices that they want to make, how do you think a child is going to feel reading a text message that said all over social media, abort it,
Mm.
abort this child, I don't want this child. So when that child is 16 years old or 21 years old, are you still going to stand by your statement of abort the child?
I mean, they're just being selfish. Like, they're not thinking beyond that moment. They're not thinking beyond like hooking up and getting together. And then the fact that it's like, oh, just have an abortion, that's birth control. That's not cool
and
either. I
again,
don't
I'm gonna
agree
say
with
this
that
again.
either.
In this administration, it's not that easy to have an abortion. But let's talk about this. Not even just have an abortion. How about put on a fucking condom?
That part too. I mean,
like, were we ever gonna use a condom? You're $100 million man. You can't buy a box of condoms.
mm-mm.
If you want to control your narrative and ultimately be with the woman that you say is the woman of your dreams, which is the one you married, don't you want to do better by her?
And why isn't she concerned about catching something? Because he's going around having babies, not protecting himself.
All the money in the world ain't gonna cure your health. Like, you can be rich in so many ways, and if your health is diminished or gone, what does it matter?
If you don't have your health, you have nothing. I'll stand by that statement. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. What can you do?
I think I'm a little thrown off also. So you decide to get married right after you won a child support case. Was that a celebration?
Listen, first of all,
were we popping bottles for that?
I need a graph. I need a graph or something to figure out all the child support and the women, and like, I don't even know. Like, it's just like it's confusing.
But again, what do you tell your children when they're in high school and they all begin to know who each other are? Like, oh, you got a sister that plays as such and such. You got a brother that lives in so and so. You got somebody that lives somewhere. Papa is a rolling stone.
I mean, a lot of times the pattern continues, unfortunately, until somebody breaks it. You know, that's the way it goes.
Well, again, I remember the father of my children saying, child support ain't never made nobody rich. And it didn't. And it don't. And I think the sad part about this is, now that you've married him, you've subjected yourself to a life of him.
Yep.
You subjected yourself to, then I can do whatever I want. Because just because he married you doesn't mean he's going to change. Just because he said, okay, now you're my wife and you have the ring and you have my name, doesn't mean he's going to change.
I don't know that she's expecting him to.
I think in the back of her mind she is.
Maybe in the back of her mind
she's a woman.
She might be hoping that he does at some point.
She's a mother and a woman, and she's trying to do. She could be thinking, this is what's best for my kids, not knowing that the egg may crack at any point in time. I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly what she was thinking, but I do know that I would have been a little reluctant to marry you right after you won a child support case. Like, that's like some shit that when you bet on in Vegas, what does that mean? I'm not sure what direction that's taken.
I know we're not trying to get into the weeds of it all, but I'm just curious as far as like the child support he's paying to, like, how many different women is he paying child support to?
I think it's 4, not including his wife. So now he don't have to pay his wife child support.
Right.
But believe me, she's gonna have a budget. She's gonna have an allowance. Mm-hmm. She's gonna have an allowance. She will not have unlimited Anthony Edward funds. I mean, I will probably almost bet on that. Like, if we had to put a bet in Vegas, is she on a fixed income? She is getting an allowance.
You think it's going to be different than what she's getting right now?
It will be a little more because she's his wife.
Right.
She might have a credit card. She might have a spending limit. I'm going to say this because I've lived that life. There's only so many shoes you can buy. There's only so many bags you can carry. There's only so many cars you can drive. And I will say this, and I have said it before. Once it's so many zeros behind the name, they're all the same.
Right.
He's no different than the doctor. He's no different than somebody in politics. He's no different than, dating a LeBron James or something. They all have money.
Yeah.
Everybody flies on the same private jets. Everybody goes on the same vacations. Everybody gets the same bags. You may not have the extent of the bags, right? But does that, honestly, if you were to ask yourself a question, are all those things going to make you happy? Is your bag going to keep you warm at night? Is your bag going to give you mental stability or mental assurance that my man ain't out buying somebody else a bag.
Yeah, I mean, I would get tired of it real quick.
Do you remember that song, all my bitches drive Range Rovers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get tired of it real quick. But I mean, I just think there are some people out there that, they're fine with that lifestyle and they accept that comes along with it. So I get that. I mean, when I dated professional athletes, that was one of the reasons why I stopped, is because I wasn't cool with traveling and coming back and going to like the hotel that he was staying in, like, oh, there's somebody's
but let me ask you this.
mascara on the pillowcase.
if that were the case, what's the difference between the athlete and the pilot, or the athlete and the doctor? There's no difference.
I mean,
pilots do it, doctors do it, people do it, because
when they do what?
It's like, oh, I'm dating him and there's a girl waiting at the hotel, or there's a girl waiting at the bar. You could be dating a pilot and he has a wife and some children, and there's a girl waiting at the bar for him. Yeah. Or you could be dating a doctor and there's a nurse waiting in his.
And it's not okay in that situation either.
Exactly.
But I think there are women that accept it.
I believe that. I'm not saying that's not true, but I'm saying, when is it that we say to ourselves as women, enough is enough?
Right.
When do we say to ourselves as women, you know what? I'm not going to partake in that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because I mean, people could be listening to this and saying, well, you have kids with two different athletes, and I do. And I stopped. And I'm hoping that, they don't have brothers and sisters everywhere. Like, I'm just hoping. I don't know, but they might.
Yeah, they might.
I mean, they might.
But you didn't stay in that. You know what I mean? I think that's the difference. Is like, you could have gotten married, and you chose not to be in all of it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying about her. She's probably thinking I'm getting married because this is going to change for me and my kids, not knowing that it is not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody shows you who they are, it's your job to see it.
Over and over and over again.
It's your job. I mean, that's 4 times.
That we know of, yeah.
That's 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
You're publicly taking my man to court for child support, and I live with him. And also, I'm going to just say this in Anthony Edwards' defense. I don't care if I get ate up or not. When you give a 23-year-old man or woman $100 million, what in the fuck do you think he's going to do?
That was my point earlier. That's why I was like, who is around him that is helping him manage being drafted at 18 years old, 1 year of college? You get drafted, and now you have the kind of, you're on the trajectory to be like the franchise player, and you're making $100 million. You're not even 21, at that time or whatever. And it's like, who is around you? Like, who's your management team? Who's around you helping you navigate this? But that's another thing
that people have to understand about a management team. They can't control him.
I understand that.
They can say, hey, let's not pay $100,000 a month in child support. Let's not pay $50,000 a month in child support that goes to all these different women. And just because you're paying child support, let me just say this, that doesn't end. The child is yours forever. Past 18 or not, the child is yours forever. And listen, $3,000 a month in child support, $5,000 a month in child support ain't paying for nobody's fucking tuition.
No.
It ain't paying for college. It's barely paying your rent now. If you live in Atlanta and you live in LA or you live in Miami, where are you living for $3,000 a month?
Not in Atlanta.
At all.
Yeah, not in Atlanta.
Where are you going to live for $3,000 a month, pay daycare, rent, car payment, car insurance, health insurance?
And they're probably going to want their child to go to private school, right? Because they're going to look at the relationship that he has with his wife and where their child is going. And they're probably going to be like, well, my kid should have the same. Don't you think?
I'm going to say this. You would think, but that's not going to be the case. The wife will live better than the baby mama.
Oh, for sure. But I'm saying the baby mamas, all of them, they're going to want the same. They are not going to get it. That's probably why they're settling all this. And they're like, you got to work with what you got.
And I agree with that. But in the interim, who does that hurt?
Oh, it all comes down on the kids.
It hurts the kids.
That's what comes down on.
It hurts the kids. I mean, and if you marry somebody that's willing to hurt a kid, if he'll do it to somebody else's kid, he will damn sure do it to yours.
That's what I'm saying. He's being so reckless. And I know like his management team doesn't really like control him. I get that. However, they should maybe let them know, like, if it could affect, like, endorsements, and the problem is that it doesn't. The problem is, like, because they're in a we can compare it to a pilot or a doctor or whatever, but the difference is that they're in the public eye,
Mm-hmm.
and the pilot and the doctor, they're not. And
Well,
so,
well, I will say the expectations of the public eye has diminished so much. Like, we
yeah, but they're not setting the standard. They're letting
they're not setting the standard, but my issue isn't with them. My issue is with the women. My issue is with the women.
accepting it.
Do something better for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I say this about women because that's a part of the reason this platform is here. Don't be me. Fucking be better than me. Be better than me. Don't try to mimic, oh yeah, I want an athlete. I'm going to live the life. I'm going to do this. There's a price to be paid with that fucking life. That shit ain't free. And I don't care if you are married to an athlete and you're walking around like the happiest person on earth. Oh, we have the best relationship. We've been together forever. I love him. He loves me. You've been through some shit. It's impossible to be married to somebody and never have gone through any shit, any drama. When you have an athlete, it's only tripled. And I didn't say doubled, I said tripled. Because that's the face of everybody that somebody wants to get with.
Right.
Everybody wants to get with one of them. But there's a price to be paid with being with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Your ego rest. You accept shit that you don't want to accept. You do shit you don't want to do.
Yeah,
And yes, you're living a great lifestyle, but to what cost?
You feel the pressure to do things that you maybe don't even feel like doing, because you kind of know, like, there's somebody that would do it.
Well, no, I think that's in any marriage. Any marriage, you feel pressure into doing things that you don't want to do. But I think that when you're married to an athlete, I said this before, it takes a special type of woman to marry an athlete. It really, really does. It takes a special type of woman to marry an actor. I mean, if you married to Michael B. Jordan with his fine ass, like, you're like, I'm married to Michael B. Jordan. But he has to decide the type of man he wants to be.
Right.
And you have to decide the type of relationship that you want to be in. If you want to be in a relationship where he's reckless and he got 5 or 6 kids and he can bring you something home at any night, okay, great, have at it. But if you want to be in a relationship where you're going to live the rest of your life happy and stress-free and in harmony with some really nice kids and a good family,
or unnecessary stress, right? Like, all of our relationships have stress, but unnecessary stress. Like, I feel like he's causing unnecessary stress.
But how sad for her at a time that it's her wedding, when she should be celebrating and throwing bouquets, that the world is like, what the fuck you marry him for? I mean, the world is asking one simple question. Baby, why did you marry him?
But people probably asking her questions about even being with him before she got married. You know what I mean? And she's posting, and all the things she posts with them, and and she's like,
and
whatever.
He's like, baby,
my man.
it's okay because I got you. I got you,
Right.
baby. I got you. You my woman. I got
Mhm.
you. We ride and
Yep.
to where?
To the courthouse, apparently.
Till he sees another woman. Till he sees somebody else he likes. Till he sees another piece of candy that he wants. Right? Till he sees another piece of candy that he wants. I mean, you got to think about it. Like, if you're an athlete, can you just imagine the cost of your extracurricular activities? Can you imagine with social? When I dated my kid's dad, we didn't have social media like this.
Right.
But can you imagine having to dodge a camera everywhere you go now?
Or constantly posting to prove your relationship.
Well, he ain't posting to prove his relationship. He's like, I was at the hospital when I had the baby, so that makes me wonder that.
She's doing all the posting.
But what? But in your mind, wouldn't you be thinking he wanted? I don't know. I just think that as a woman, I would be like, you wanted my baby, but you didn't want your other baby.
Right.
So you wanted my baby, but you didn't want your other baby. Be a man, charge it to the game, and take all the babies. And if she loves you, she gonna ride with you like she's doing anyway.
Or she should set a like put her foot down or something and be like,
But that again,
she's not gonna be willing to walk away from it.
She knows what she's dealing with. But you have to ask yourself this as a mother. If that baby comes to you as his wife, when that baby is 18 years old and says, you married my dad, you knew I was here, but he told my mom he didn't want me, and you wanted him anyway. Can you imagine the trauma that child's got to live with?
I mean, I hope all those text messages and all that just gets burnt up, so the kids never
It
have
won't
to.
burn
The
up. It's
kids
on. It's
don't
on.
ever
It's on
have
the
to see
internet.
it. I
It's on
know.
the
It's just
internet. It's
like,
never going
I
away.
hope it doesn't come out that they ever have to see it as they get older, because
Oh,
that's sad. You know, especially the one. Did the one have an abortion? Because
that's so
that was
sad.
a text message too,
Well,
right?
it's like, did the one? I don't know, but I just think as a woman, I would have to ask you. So you want my baby, but you don't want her baby? And if I love you that much, and you have that other baby, then I'm probably going to, if I'm your wife, raise that baby.
But I'm like, if you love me that much, why are you outside of our relationship having other babies?
But I mean, she's already passed that question, but I think the answer to the question now is he has all these other children. Are you willing to accept all these other children as your children because they're his
Girl,
children?
I don't think she's thinking about that. I don't
How?
think
You
she
got 4 baby mamas in
because
2 different
right,
states.
but she
It's spring break. He ain't gonna get visitation.
I don't think she's thinking about that. She's just thinking about
When spring
her.
break comes, when the kids start playing sports, are you not going to partake in those children's lives?
I don't think she's young. I
Would
don't
you?
think they're thinking about it. Yeah, but we're grown.
No, but I'm saying, would you?
Would I what?
Would you
Which thing?
if he like just so many.
There's so many
So
things.
if you knew that your man, whether he's an athlete or not, or whoever he is, like even if he worked at just a normal job and he had kids during the relationship or during the marriage, and you decided you wanted to stay, will you accept those children?
If I decided to stay, I would absolutely, have it be like a family. I can't say that I would stay though, but if I decided to stay.
Right. And I think that's the question that she needs to go over in her mind. Like, the kids are here. The kids did not ask to be here. So now what do we do from here? Now how do we handle this from here? You know he has women or children by 3 different women. Are you willing to accept those children?
Hmm.
And that's the question that she has to ask herself, because they're not going away.
Yeah.
And she also has to ask herself this. And if he has another child in the future, because he might, because there's no fear in him.
I mean, it's just scary to think about all the ways this could turn out,
Mhm.
just dipping yourself all over the place. Like,
And I just hope that, in closing, I just wanted to say this. In reality, we're like, oh, he's got $100 million contract. He's paid. He's going to be rich forever. No.
well, I mean, think about
Because if you live in a lifestyle like that, that money's going to go quick.
it's going to go quickly, but also it kind of like think about somebody's character too. Like dating someone or being in a relationship with someone that makes a lot of money. Yes, you get to travel and do all the things, but when you're dealing with someone who has horrible character or, just is condescending towards other people or doesn't really, like the way he's treating these women, the way he's talking to them, like that speaks volumes. So at some point, the money isn't going to be enough.
I mean, I agree with that, but you have to understand there's pillow talk. And ain't shit like pillow talk. Oh, baby, you gonna be different. I'm gonna treat you different. We gonna ride out
You saw
different.
I left the
It's
game
gonna
for
be
when you
good.
had the
Yeah.
baby.
You see me rush up out of there, right? Shoot,
They
they
got it on
escorted me.
camera.
They escorted me, right? Well, shit, they should. You Anthony Edwards, right?
Right.
Secondly, how do we know he didn't say that to the other girl? We may not have seen it, but that didn't mean he didn't say it. Everybody must feel like they're running the pack somewhere. Because, I mean, think about it. All these women know about each other. And all these women are still having sex with him without any protection. But I guess I'm going to ask this one question before we close this show, because we just need to pray for her. Did we sign a prenup? And did we sign a prenup that benefited us? Did we sign a prenup with a clause of adultery in it?
I mean, you have to talk about that because maybe some women don't know that they can create a prenup that is in their benefit. It's not just,
Of course. You don't let him be the only person to get an attorney.
Mhm.
You get an attorney as well. And if one of your biggest fears, which you shouldn't have a big fear like that if you're getting married, is infidelity, then it should damn sure be in the prenup. So not only infidelity should be in his prenup, bearing children should be in his prenup, because he bears a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Right? At some point, you got to just, before it's over, he gonna have like 10 or 15 kids.
Listen, I mean, and to your point about women, raising the bar and like setting a different standard. A friend of mine, he's very well off, and he meets women out, and I guess they can tell that he has money somehow. And he told me there was one that came up to him and he said that he was married, and she was like, well, I know how to play my position. So I feel like those women, it could be they are either trying to get a spot, like they're trying to get a position, or they feel like that's the position that they play. And I can't even think of the word, because it's just like crazy to think about how demeaning that is.
But at the end of the day, when all this is said and done, God's never going to give you somebody else's husband.
No, not at
He's
all.
he's just not going to do that. And if you're okay taking that position and taking that seat, then the only thing that I could say about somebody like that, and the only thing I can say about the situation that we're in, is karma always collects. Karma always collects. I will say this: when that bitch named Karma pulls your name and your number, she always finds you.
But that's what I'm saying, is like,
karma is always coming.
These women, you know, we're kind of analyzing it here, but these women, that they may be like, that's my point, is like they're settling for this. And I'm like, raise your standard. Like they need to like raise your standard.
But the sad part about it with Anthony Edwards' wife is I feel like she felt like she did raise it when she became his wifey. I think she felt like her stock went up when she put wifey behind the name. I think she thinks that she's on another level than these other women, when in all actuality, she is not. She is not. I don't want to start a marriage off like that. But in his defense, he's probably saying she knew what she signed up for. She know who I am.
Yep.
I mean, she can read it in the court logs.
Yeah, he's probably like, she knows
She can
me.
read it in the paper.
She knows me.
But in 5 or 10 years, whether she speaks publicly about it or not, that's heartache. That's heartache. It's sad, because one day she's going to have to sit down and explain this to her son or her daughter. And they all are. I had to explain it to my kids.
Yeah.
Why I'm married, why I'm not married, why I made the choices that I made. And I'm telling you, you know, ladies, whether you want to believe it or not, the pendulum always swings. Whatever you decide to give up, make sure you're giving it up for you. Make sure you're giving it up for your children. Make sure you're giving it up for a bigger cause than, oh, I love him. Fuck, I love chocolate, but I ain't eating that shit every day. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just not.
Well, time will tell how this all turns out.
I wish him well.
And
I wish him well.
Hopefully she does understand, like, the kids, like, focus on the children, and that,
and not just hers, all of them.
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like,
not just hers, all
let
of
them all be a part of the family.
And I just, you know, again, in order to do better, you got to know better. And I feel like you knew what you signed up for. He knew what he signed up for. And the kids have nothing to do with the decisions adults make. The kids have nothing to do with that. So don't sign over even if he says, I don't want to be with the kid, I don't want to have nothing to do with the kid. I was being honest with her and I told her, I don't want the kid. I don't want the kid. When that kid is 9 or 10 and walks up to you and says, do you not want me? What are you going to tell the kid? No, I'm standing on business. I don't. Like, no, you're not.
Yeah. Hopefully
you are
not.
Somebody's father. You planted a seed. You've got to be a man and do what you need to do. And the mother needs to be a woman and do what she needs to do. And that means all these baby mamas need to welcome those children.
We'll see how it goes.